Hello there everyone, it is King Sloth. For those who don't know me, I was in the army for just under 7 years and I've recently, as of this year, well, like 2 months ago, transferred over to the RAF. I still do British Army videos here and there, answer questions because I still get them consistently on Instagram, Twitter, occasionally get them on Discord, but a bit less. It's mainly the normal social medias. But this story I'm going to be telling you is how my army career almost never started, how my army career ended before it began, in a sense. Here's a little picture, just right there. Look how bad that is. It is horrendous. Go away. That was a week and a half or 2 weeks before my British Army selection. Most people would be like, why? How did you get it deferred? Did you get what happened? What did you say? Did you say anything to the medical team? Did you do this? I'm going to tell you all this. I'm going to go through every single little thing that happened. I'm going to go through how I got injured, the consequences of me getting injured, and how it actually affected my army assessment. First thing first, when you're training for the British Army to go through your phase one, your selection, you want to be in the best physical shape you can. For me, that was running every single day. This is before I even knew about training. Literally, I was running exactly a mile and a half every day, twice a day if I could. Press ups to the exact amount I had to get. Sit ups to the exact amount I had to get. And that is what I used to do, just so I knew I could pass the fitness test. When it came to like selection, obviously it's a bit different. The fitness test was different to what I was told. My recruiter didn't tell me it was any different. Didn't tell me about the jerry can carry, the deadlift, nothing like that. Didn't tell me. All the time it was press up, sit ups, run. That was it. No mention. My recruiter wasn't very good from the army at that time. But obviously it's changed a lot now, and there are a lot of good recruiters in the army. Same as the RAF. A lot of them are very well trained and they actually know what they're talking about, which is finally it's amazing. But once again, that ankle picture you saw earlier, that was induced by doing a charity event. I did a 40-kilometre walk for, I think it was Cancer Trust UK, not the pink t-shirt ones. We did that, we walked the 40k, but it was more like a pub crawl. In reality, it was a pub crawl. And every pub we went to, we go there, we're like, okay, we're raising money for Cancer Trust UK. Can you donate anything? They're like, of course, here's 20, 30, 50. I think one pub, the Halfway House, kind of with the actual name of the town. Not, I can't remember. It's near Tamworth, where I'm from originally. Like literally, the manager Pete, I still remember him. I eventually got a job working with him before I joined the army. He literally put in £200 like it was nothing. He was like, "Okay, well deserved, lads." But every pub we stopped at, and then it's 40k, and there's a lot of villages. In every village, there's at least one pub. Sometimes there's two. And we made it a goal as well as doing the 40k, and never mind. I think I was the second youngest there, so I wasn't worried about the walking. It was more the drinking. Not gonna lie, because I don't really drink that often. But pretty much every pub we went to, just 1 point, and we carried on. Obviously, it took us quite a while because a couple of the people who were with us were of the older generation, but they kept up. We made sure we kept it slow. We kept the orienteering up, got the maps up, found the best route, the easiest route they could do without going up too many hills, because some of them had bad knees from age, and we thought we'd make it nice and easier for them. But I remember the last pub was a place called the Colville, and I still remember it to this day. I remember we had this last big field. I remember we could see the pub and we see everyone there was like family, friends, like, oh, we fucking made it. I remember the older lads were like, you two. It was like me and I think his name was Sam. It was like a year younger than me. He was like, right, get to the pub, tell them get the rounds in. You're like, all right, yeah, okay, I can do that. I ran straight across the field. Horses were actually trying to like attack us, which was really bad. One of the lads actually got kicked and actually got injured and had to go to hospital literally straight away. But we ran, literally hopped over the fence, completely fine. On the curb outside of the pub, after walking 40 kilometres, then I had water, food, maps, everything in my bag, so I was carrying weight the whole time. I tripped up a curb less than 2 metres from the finish line and did that to my ankle. It turned it black, purple. The pain was immense. But I remember, obviously, I was that drunk. I didn't think it was that bad. So I carried on going, like, limping, like, oh, jeez, I think I've broke my ankle, but carried on. Uh, I felt like after an hour of drinking, I was like, oh, actually, it's still really, really sore. So I remember I went to take my boot off. Obviously, I was getting used to like walking in boots ready for phase one. I remember I couldn't take it off. It is swollen that much. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do here? And eventually I had literally two lads holding me and the other two lads pulling the boot off. And literally as soon as I took it off, the sort of my ankle was like, it was massive. I was like, oh my God. I was like, that is bad. Then in the back of my head, I knew I had my selection in literally like a week and a half time. That scared me in a way, it absolutely scared me. But yeah, we finished off drinking, we went home, we raised, I think it literally was like £6,500, I think we raised through donations like online or when we're at the pubs or people seeing us just walking past, it goes a couple of quid. It all went to a good cause. So yeah, that's how that incident happened. Next thing, the consequences of this. The next day, I remember waking up thinking, oh, when you go to bed thinking I'll be better in the morning. I woke up and I couldn't get downstairs. The pain was immense. It was it was horrendous. It was absolutely diabolical. But I remember being like, I can't go to the doctors. It might sound bad. I was there like, my selection's in like less than 2 weeks. I can't go to the doctors. So I remember literally being like, I can't run it. I can't do any fitness on it. What I'm gonna do is ice it the entire time. So I know if I went to the doctors and went, can you check out my ankle? I knew eventually I could put, if I ice it enough, I could put weight on it. But I remember literally being like, if I fail this assessment centre, I'm fucked. Because at that point we had like no money, nothing. We had bills to pay, and that was the opportunity for us. The army was the opportunity. So I just got through it, iced it consistently. Did not, look, I barely walked. Literally, I had it on there. But I remember 2 years before my assessment, I looked and it was still near enough purple, like quite bad. And I'd be like, okay, I can walk on it now, fine. I haven't ran on it, so be it. But I remember I told Mrs. like, what can I do with this? Because if the doctor sees this looking like that, he's gonna be like, whoa, what? You can't run on this. You can't medically deferred. You'd come back in a couple of months' time. I couldn't wait that long. Neither could my family. And being like, do you know what? Got any good foundation? And literally remember, she showed me where to put it, how to apply foundation, make it look like normal. So you still like see some sort of discoloration, but it wasn't bad enough to the point where a doctor would notice it unless they were looking for it exactly. They were like looking to wipe off makeup off someone's fucking ankle. But I remember the medical section of that, like the actual selection, I was like, boom, 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 boom. It was horrendous. The fear, like, okay, it's gonna make me do these weird steps. It's gonna be painful. Just keep going. So there's like walk like a duck, which is a lot of pressure on your Achilles tendon as well. And we literally be like, oh, carried on. Just like, keep walking. Like, how was that? Yeah, fine, mate, fine, fine. I remember literally finishing the medical bit. I was going for a toilet. Be back in a minute. Walk down, grab my ankle. Like, oh my God, that was sore. Oh, because it was a lot of straining on that ankle. But we did that. Got through the medical. Jerrican carry was fine. Obviously, it's quite a slow pace to do that. The like deadlift, you had to do the medicine ball thing, wasn't that bad either because you only had to lift like the weight wasn't that bad, and I've been already practicing for that anyway. And I used most of it on my back, so I literally like lift and just get it up there. Then it came to the run. The run, I think the time, I think it was like 14 minutes to do a mile and a half. And being like, I could do that. Never mind, I did my assessment centre at Lichfield, and the route is it's really easy. It literally is like 2 flats, 1 little downhill, 1 little uphill, and be like, okay, if I can keep a consistent pace going on the straights, a bit fast going down straight, then a slow pace going up to reduce the stress on my ankle. But I remember being like, okay, I got fine. I remember I spoke to a lad. He was like, all right, I'm going for paras. I was like, okay, cool. So you've got to get a decent time. I was like, yeah, decent time, a decent time. Okay, so if I know if I can see him and I'm close enough to him, I know I can pass it. Because I knew obviously I had to pace myself normally if my ankle was working properly. However, I didn't know how to do it with an ankle injury, and it was diabolical. It was horrendous. I remember literally finishing, being like, oh, what time was that? I think it was like 11 and a half minutes I got, and I was like, still not an actual fitness test pass for when you're in phase one, but it was a pass, like a pass for the assessment centre. And I knew I was running on an injury. I remember going to my interview, like, you need to get your pace up, and I was like, don't worry, that'll be solved. But I remember I ran that whole thing with an ankle strap on. So it literally holds your ankle in place so it doesn't move at all. So it's painful to run on as it is, but with the ankle running, it gives it that stability to not move and not cause any more tears, as bad as that sounds. But then to finish off with, the day I finished my selection, I got told, yeah, you've passed, mate, well done. Your phase won't be in a couple of months' time, we'll let you know. It'll be like literally the next day, I went to the doctors and I was like, this is the situation. I did my arm assessment yesterday. I didn't say I was injured then. I fell over last night, and it was still black. Like I walked all the makeup off, it was still black. I was like, oh my god, what's happened? They're like, okay, we're going to send you for I think it was an MRI at the time down in Good Hope Hospital. And I remember literally they were like, did you walk in? I'm like, yeah, I walked in. Yeah, they went, okay, don't walk in. You've ripped some of the ligaments in the back of your ankle, and you've almost tore your Achilles tendon. I was like, what do you mean almost? I went, well, it will heal, but if it tore, you'd have to have surgery. So we're gonna let you have, like, I think it was like a month, literally, painkillers, anti-inflammatories, everything. They're like, just rest, just ice, and just stay chill. Try and wear this ankle strap, which was amazing. The same ankle strap I bought off Amazon myself anyway. So I was like, okay, sound, so be it. But yeah, I had a couple months off, and literally, I think I passed my assessment centre in the start of November, and then by February 1st, I was in the British Army, phase one, first day. So I iced it a lot, and it just didn't move a lot. I remember getting there, ankle was a bit better, and still getting like 11:30. Like, whoa, you've got to get to 10:30. I was like, don't worry, mate, my ankle's healing. I'm all good. I'll be fine. But anyway, yeah, that is the story on how my army career almost ended before it even started. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend that anymore. If you're injured, just ring them up. Defer. You don't. It's not unless literally it's do or die. Like I was, it was literally like you were gonna lose everything if you didn't do this at this day. It was that bad for me. But yeah, don't do it now. Speak to a doctor. Get proper help. Yeah, don't be an idiot like me. I could have done myself a lot more damage. I could have ruined it entirely for myself. But yeah, it has been King Sloth. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to message me on any social media as well, because I'll answer near enough every question I can. It's been King Sloth. See you all soon.